Yo, welcome to Nerd Council, your home of everything nerd culture. My name's Ludo.
My name is Timmy.
I'm Ryan.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
What's good? What's good? How's the weekend?
Week. Yeah, it was a decent one, decent. Can't complain, really.
Anything happen? Anything interesting?
Anything crazy, right?
Ryan?
No, nothing whatsoever.
I like how we whisper Ryan's door that time.
Yeah,
nothing.
for once, Ryan's at home, bro. Ryan did go out this
all
week,
weekend.
bro. All weekend.
No holidays.
No holidays.
No
Have you,
jet
Timmy? You out?
Nah, man. What?
You wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I was out. I went to the Black Adam premiere.
That was like
Which
Tuesday.
was Tuesday.
Okay.
That was sick. Met The Rock.
Yeah, I was just about to say
That
that.
was freaking wavy. I can't lie. Like, to meet like one of your childhood heroes, And then they asked me to do the rock bottom on me, but that's neither here nor there. But Tuesday was a really good experience, man. Like,
Where was it?
Cineworld, Central London. Leicester Square.
Oh,
Yeah. So like they had the whole place like shut down and stuff. So, but then they had like a whole bunch of like us at like the hotel where all the stars were staying, drinks, usual stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, The Rock might come. I'm like, okay, sure.
We said that, sure.
Yeah, sure. And then he walks up and he's so wham, bro.
Yeah.
He's so scary. Like he's wham.
Yeah.
And he's tall.
He's big, yeah.
But no, great experience, man, honestly. Thank you again to Warner Brothers for that, honestly. Yeah, good week. Can't complain.
Can't complain. Definitely can't. Meeting The Rock, can't complain at all, mate.
I like my week, I can't lie. But yeah, let's get into stuff.
Let's go.
So, Rings of Power finale.
Yeah, Rings of Power. So
How was it?
I enjoyed the. I enjoyed the.
Why? You haven't even watched it.
You
Rings of
can't say
Mid.
nothing because you ain't
I watched
it.
episode 1. Boring.
No, the finale was good. The finale was actually very good.
Finale was great.
Real yawning moments.
Finale had some good payoffs. I
Rings of
think.
Mid, bro.
I don't know if the payoffs make up because it was very slow to start off the series. It
But
was
it's
slow.
Lord of the Rings, though, man.
But I feel like as well, I think they done a good.
Yeah.
They done a good job of setting up all the different characters for their stories for season 2.
Yeah.
But at times it did feel like it was a bit too slow.
I think the only thing that was missing for me was maybe like another Balrog appearance. They could have shown the Balrog again.
Yeah, they only kind of hinted at it, innit?
They showed it like that one scene real
When
quick.
he was going, yeah.
Yeah. But I was like, other than
Do you
that,
think all that money they invested into the show is the product? It made sense.
I mean, visually, yeah.
Visually it did look amazing.
It
innit?
did.
I know a lot of people aren't happy with it, but I don't know.
That's more storylines and plot and stuff, rather
more-
and character portrayals than visually. Visually, nobody complaining about that.
Yeah. I think they set a record as well for the most viewers over a weekend. I think they had like
Oh, really?
something silly.
Well, for episode 1, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what episode it was.
After
I think
that,
it was the episode where they
the
had
drop
battle.
off.
The drop off. No, episode 1 was a very slow burn. I think
Slow burn.
unless you're like a big Lord of the Rings fan and you know what's coming, it's difficult. It'll be difficult for you to like, okay, I'm gonna watch episode 2,
Yeah.
and then continue from there.
To stay involved with it.
Yeah,
The twist in it is the twists that were in it were good.
Do you think the Sauron reveal was what everyone was expecting?
I weren't.
I definitely wasn't.
I wasn't. I was surprised, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? So
That was
it
a
got
big
me.
shock to me. I think they've done that one really well though.
Yeah. So they built up like 2 characters parallel to make you think one was one was the other, and it was pretty much the other way around. Because at first you thought the wizard was Sauron, innit?
Yeah, I
They made
thought-
you
I
think
thought
it
it
was
was
the
Sauron.
wizard, and it weren't. So
But do you think he's Gandalf?
no, I don't think he's Gandalf.
He could be Gandalf.
I don't think he is. There's loads of them, innit? There's loads of other wizards. So I just think he's a different one, but I don't think he's Gandalf.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. What would you rate the series out of like a 10? Quickly.
6, 7.
Okay. Yeah. Around the same.
Like I wouldn't say it was bad. Definitely weren't bad.
Like the visuals are what kept me going. I think more so than the story.
Yeah, I'd say the CG on the orcs is better than the movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, facts.
Like,
Put more money
actually-
into it.
Yeah, I know. But
No, but even so, like
it's still impressive, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Regardless of if they spend a lot of money on it or not. Some people don't have impressive CGI.
True.
And they've got
they've
billions
got a
in
lot
them
of
as
money as well.
Yeah.
So,
Let's not speak on them ones.
Wait,
then.
Roshan, you didn't like it, did you?
No.
Why?
I'm not an expert. I'm not going to say I'm an expert on Lord of the Rings. So my perception was a little bit like not as developed as somebody who's watched everything and knows all the lore and stuff.
Fair.
I tried to watch a lot of Tolkien videos beforehand to get a
a
lore,
sense of it, yeah.
but I still couldn't. I still felt quite overwhelmed. It was just very slow, very boring. And I think that the characters, I like the trolls.
Okay.
But besides that, I didn't really feel much for the characters, and obviously there was that kind of like Sauron, like who is it? Like blah blah blah. And it was cool, and the orcs were cool. But what did you guys think of the fight scenes? I thought some of them were a bit goofy and a bit like.
I thought they were very much true to form when it comes to like Lord of the Rings. Like,
Fair play.
if you look at the previous films and stuff, the fight scenes felt like they belonged in that realm because the fight scenes in Lord of the Rings are quite
Yeah.
like out there, like they're doing all sorts of like weird stunts, especially like the elves and things like that. So I'm not really like surprised, like some like the one scene when she's on the horse and she goes off like the orc's head and stuff like that. Like,
when she leans to the side.
yeah, she leans to the side.
Yeah,
And everyone's like, oh, that doesn't make sense. But it's like,
Yeah, yeah,
But
I'm
Legolas
not
said
gonna-
that on an elephant, like in the last film. So
and
that's
they
like-
didn't say nothing.
Yeah, right. So
It's just, think about all the money that put into it. Do you think a show like that should be a 6? Do you know what I mean?
No, I get that as well. Maybe you're
I
probably
don't want to put
expecting
it down
like,
completely.
maybe you're expecting like an 8, 9. As like,
Yeah.
I get that. But I do think the way they've set it up, the second season will be a lot better.
Okay.
So I do expect the show to get better as it goes on.
but it was clear that the money went into like CGI and graphics and everything else. Then,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Then the script work. But all right, let's move on. New Superman movie with Henry Cavill is in the works. Is that confirmed?
The reports were like pretty accurate.
Is this Boston
Do you
film
want me to do a
again?
quick search?
Is this Boston film?
No,
Or is
it was
this-
not. It was
God.
not. I think it was Deadline.
Okay.
might
Then
be wrong,
I can believe.
Hey, The Rock really has pull, you know.
I mean, he's The Rock. He does have a lot
Really
of
has
pull.
pull. Who's the guy
Oh,
that?
no, it was It was the Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, fine. Okay.
But what's that guy? Who's the DC guy that stepped down? What's his name again?
Mortar Hamada.
Yeah, Hamada. He didn't want Henry Cavill
Yeah,
to
but he
turn
wasn't
up.
up anyway.
No, but he didn't want Henry Cavill to turn up in the post credit scene.
Oh yeah, because they
Originally it was going to be just a headless scene of
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah. Then they changed it.
He went around him.
Went around him.
The Rock went around.
We're around him. The Rock has crazy power, so literally we're gonna see Ozzy gone this quick thing into the main topic. But The Rock, he's gonna be
Yeah, I know.
I
I just hope he uses it.
have
for-
issues with
for
that, though,
good.
but we'll
of course, but he's
get
gonna be a
into that.
very, very integral part of the DCU going forward.
But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
The Rock, like I said before, he everything he takes over, he engulfs the whole franchise. He's inevitable. Dread it, run from it. Dread it, run from it. Destiny still arrives all the same. Where's the Thanos, bro? Hey man, The Rock is Thanos in actor movie form.
We're gonna get into that because I took him.
Don't be surprised if you see Kevin Hart turn up.
I enjoyed the film. See, I'll piss me off. Like, I enjoyed the film,
Surprise.
but I have notes. But yeah.
A script for a sequel to The Flash has already been written.
Hopefully without what's his face.
Apparently,
What's
they're
their face, sorry.
literally the day after we recorded last week's episode, I saw reports that apparently they're planning to recast him with some next guy.
Didn't they say something about they wanted to push the film back because he has a court date in April, and
He has a
if
court
he
date.
gets found guilty, he does 20 years.
He's gonna be found guilty.
That's so mad.
Even if he does get found guilty,
I mean, but he's done a massive
yeah, but the thing
though.
is, yeah,
He's gonna be in jail watching his new movie.
yeah, but he's not going to jail. Even if he gets found guilty, yeah, what they're gonna do is probably put him like, you know what's it called? Maybe house arrest or do community service, pay a fine. Wow. Rich famous people.
I mean, aren't there certain jails made for like wealthy people anyway?
Yeah, like halfway houses and that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But
I'd actually believe he's actually gonna go jail. So
I mean,
Yeah, no, I
okay.
don't actually think he
yeah,
will.
but they probably will recast him.
Yeah.
A recasting's fine, but
Yeah.
I still just don't know where things are going with DC at the moment. I don't know what direction they're going.
Yeah, but
Are they doing the expanded universe thing? Are they doing the solo film
I
thing?
think just let them freestyle and let them freestyle and we'll see where they come. But Ozzy, next one, James Gunn's already in talks with Warner Brothers about developing a new mystery DC film.
I mean,
Like a who? We want what's his name? What's his name again?
how do we feel about James Gunn? Honestly, how do we feel about James Gunn?
Timmy don't like him. No, Timmy don't like him.
I said this last week, right? I said this last week. When that man puts his foot in things, he does some good shit. I won't lie to you, right? But I don't like the man. I can't lie to you. I don't fuck with the man. I really don't. I really
He's a
don't.
weird guy.
So, where do we stand on like James Gunn doing all these like new projects and things like that? Like, do we get excited about it?
Would you
Do we
ever
just
go
like,
on the question film? Mystery, innit? Mystery.
Yeah.
well, like a noir, like a noir, like
Yeah.
I mean, Gunn could direct that, sure, but
I think kind of things we've done.
I'm not gonna go out and not watch a movie because he directed it. That's where I stand in it. But I can still
like
acknowledge the guy's a dickhead, innit?
I'm in agreement with you there. I don't think
he's a bit weird.
No, not a bit weird. He's like very weird, and I think but I don't think he's done anything drastically that bad to be like, okay, I'm never gonna watch a James Gunn project ever again.
Yeah.
I mean, I like him, but like I said, like when he puts his foot in something, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch that. That's gonna fuck his lap. So, but yeah, I think a question film by Gunn could work. Like very much like crime detective noir type thing. Not necessarily like the Batman, but like
Doing his own.
yeah, it could work. It could work. Gotham Knights, first impressions. Like, Ryan, you've played this game. What do you think?
So, do you know what? When I played it, I understood what you said more, that you can't compare it to the Arkham games,
Arkham,
but
yeah.
then at the same time, you can't help it. You do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because set in the same universe, they're all the same. It's Gotham,
Yeah,
innit?
well, yes, Gotham is Batman,
Yeah,
like, it's
Batman,
Bat
yeah.
family. So, like,
But
you're good to
they're very different games.
Yeah.
They're very different games. It's good. The gameplay, like the combat system, feels a bit repetitive and
Yeah.
a bit clunky at times. But I still think the game as a whole is quite good.
How many hours are you into the game?
I'd say about 3, 4.
Okay. And you're doing...
I'm not even really going through the story that much though. I'm just beating people up at the minute. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just beating people up.
Just like learn the ropes and whatnot.
Yeah,
Learn the
exactly.
ropes,
Yeah, I've like messed around with like the costumes and that. Like I got my Tim Drake in his original costume.
Yeah.
Nice.
I changed. I used Batgirl. Robin's better than Batgirl so far, but I haven't used Red Hood on Nightwing.
So I've been mainly Red Hoods.
Are the fighting like styles, are they massively different or are they all similar?
No, they're different.
I would say they're completely different.
They're
though.
different.
That's good then, at least that, you know, for movies, they'll have different characters, they all fight the same enemies. What's the
No.
contact?
They're very different. They've got like these, I think they're called momentum abilities. They're all different as well. Their traversal abilities, once you actually unlock them, are different as well. But like, I think the biggest gripe for me was it takes a while to get into the point where you're like, okay, my character is like good enough for me to like really enjoy this game. Like to unlock certain things takes a while.
To grind.
The grind is not great at the beginning. I won't lie to you.
You don't enjoy the grind, you don't enjoy it?
Not at the beginning. I mean, the first like 4 or 5 hours is very much like a
Building up.
yeah, and it's very slow.
Yeah.
But once you get into it, once you unlock like more abilities, you're stronger, you got better gear, you're unlocking mods, better costumes and that. The game is hella enjoyable.
Speaking from a gamer's perspective, do you guys enjoy having to grind out to improve your
Yes.
character?
Yes, but it depends on the game.
Okay.
Like some grinds are great, some grinds I don't mind. Like
And-
for
You got to feel like the grind is rewarded.
yes, there we go. It has to be like me putting in hours.
Yeah.
Has to have a payoff. Like for example, off random, like Destiny has like Destiny 2. I played a lot of Destiny 2. I can grind certain things in Destiny 2 for hours, and I know that at the end of it, it's gonna be rewarding for me. I'm gonna get either like a certain exotic weapon, or I'm gonna get some piece of gear that I'm looking for. I'm gonna level up, whatever it is. Like same thing with like God of War. The grinding God of War is great.
Worth it, yeah.
You know, farming for certain things is great, but like for Gotham Knights at the beginning, the grind is not doesn't feel as rewarding because it just feels like certain things should be unlocked a lot sooner than they
Yeah.
are. But other than that, I'm enjoying it.
Do you know what I would say as well? The opening 5 minutes, the intro, yeah.
That fight's sick.
You see that
fight is
I did not expect it.
sick.
It was literally, I think it's not as good, but it's nearly on par with like the Arkham trailer.
Okay.
When he's
Yeah.
in the rain fighting Deathstroke.
Yeah.
That's what I got from that. It was, do you want me to tell you what it is?
How about the cutscenes? You guys enjoy the cutscenes?
The cutscenes are good. There's a lot.
You're not really in the story, so you're not seeing the cutscenes yourself, innit?
No, I've
There's
not
a
seen
lot.
that.
There's a lot of story
I think
cutscenes.
cutscenes are very important, you know. I have to enjoy the cutscenes in a game.
This is my thing,
100%.
right? I think with me, if the cutscene isn't good from like the first like 15 seconds, I'm skipping it. I won't lie to you. Like, I'm very.
That's why I hate skipping cutscenes.
I hate skipping cutscenes, but if I have to, I will. If I'm just getting bored, I'll just skip the cutscene. Like,
I don't skip no cutscenes.
Yeah.
I try not to. I try not to. But if it just feels like it's just gonna be like mad talking, nah, I'm not. But
Like, in a way, I kind of like play the game, the missions, so I can get to the cutscenes, if that makes sense.
You
yeah,
want to see what's going to happen
That's
next.
what's happening,
for real.
yeah.
like some of them are good, some of them are not.
Like obviously, sometimes the gameplay is never going to be as good as what you can see in a cutscene. Obviously,
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like the Batman intro. I was literally gassed for like 5 minutes, and it literally I said, I can't wait to play this game now. Even though I knew the gameplay wasn't going to be like that, I didn't care.
Yeah.
The cutscene, bit of a spoiler, but the cutscene when you first get introduced to the Court of Owls is very, very good. So look out for that. It's very, very, very
Obviously,
very
I knew that was going to happen anyway. So, but yeah, no, I can't wait.
God of War early previews received high praise and acclaim.
Yeah.
Is anybody surprised?
Nobody's surprised.
Nobody's
Not surprised. Not surprised.
You can
at all.
say God of War, this series is probably the best series of games in the past 15, 20 years.
You know,
Yes.
There's something about God of War.
When it comes out, I would like my own segment.
Do you know what I've done in preparation?
Yeah.
Go on.
So I bought a PlayStation 5 digital. Yeah.
Okay.
I've not even bothered setting it up in it, yeah, because I'm waiting until payday as well, yeah.
Okay.
But from November the 1st, I'm gonna set up the day before.
Yeah.
I'm then gonna buy God of War, the last one.
Okay.
I'm gonna play it in time for the next one to drop and pre-order it.
Oh.
Good.
I've got it all set up and prepared.
I literally did the same thing. I did another new game plus, finished the story campaign, banged it out. I'm literally gonna do like a Valkyrie run just before the game starts. If you guys don't know, the Valkyries are like the hardest, bosses.
Everyone complains about
Yeah.
that.
The Valkyrie Queen might be one of the hardest bosses in video games.
History, yeah.
period.
Do you know what
Right?
it is? I never done the sides on the last one because I wanted to play the game, but I didn't have a PlayStation 4, so my mate let me just borrow
Right.
his and play it. So obviously I had to give it back. So I've not explored the whole game.
The whole
that's
universe,
why
yeah.
that's why I can't wait to get
It's- the exploration in the game is like so rewarding. Like when you actually do it. I think the only gripe everyone has with God of War, the first game, was that there weren't enough bosses. But even then, that's not like an overall negative. That doesn't make it like one of the best games ever made. Hopefully, they improve that with Ragnarok. And I think with Ragnarok, there's something about the God of War franchise, right? That is just like so freaking good, like so freaking good,
Have you seen the collector's edition?
mate. Mate, I want. I need that hammer in my house.
They got a replica of Mjolnir.
I need that hammer in my house.
And
I need that hammer in my
just on
house.
like wavy chest. So I'm thinking about
Need
getting
it,
it.
need it. PlayStation, if you're listening, send it to me. I need that in my house. I need it in my house. But yeah, it's gonna be Game of the Year again. It's gonna be Game of the Year. Yeah.
Have they said
Absolutely.
anything about us? It's kind of early. Have they said anything about anything after Ragnarok? Because it's too early to say.
So
Remember you said a couple years back.
So there's only gonna be 2 games.
yeah, so the Norse leg of the game was gonna be 3 games, and they cut it down to 2. So what people are hoping for is that there's gonna be like another game, either that's gonna be Atreus led or Kratos on Atreus again. But we don't know what's gonna happen because obviously like this game was like it's Ragnarok, it's the end of the world
the end of the-
type thing. So we don't know what's gonna happen with Kratos or Atreus. Hopefully, I think the next step logically makes sense is to go to Egypt.
Yeah, because you said, I mean, you said a couple of years back, you said you wanted to follow a pantheon of gods. Him
Yes.
fighting different pantheons of gods.
Yeah. And I think eventually what
Would
should
you
happen...
want it to be Atreus going forward, or do you still want it to be Kratos?
Kratos has to die at some point. He has to die.
Yeah,
So
but
he has to. Do you
I
Do you
get
think
it, but
Atreus is a pull enough itself for people that are still going to play it?
Not yet.
Kratos is
Yeah,
Not yet.
Kratos is Kratos, man. Kratos
yet.
he sells God of War. I don't think you can really make the games without him. Personally,
Atreus hasn't proven himself in game as a playable character to be like, okay, I'm going to enjoy playing as Atreus because right now his playability is very much bow and arrow based, which isn't really like the most exciting thing to do. So unless he's going to adapt and evolve as a warrior,
I'm guessing in this game he's obviously gonna. Do you know what I mean? There's gonna be more.
I would hope so.
There has to be. But like, I don't know. Give me Atreus DLC. I don't want.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
can't-
yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
They'd have to build him up for a long time. They can't pass the mantle on yet. He ain't ready.
Okay, let's move on. Matt Reeves is meeting with writers and directors for the Batman spin-off movies and TV shows, focused on the Batman Rogue Gallery, various projects from Scarecrow to Clayface to Professor. They're gonna do Professor Pig.
Yeah.
They're gonna do
that's good.
Professor Pig.
That's gonna be a messed up show.
No. I'm sorry.
That's a bit messed up.
They can't do Professor Pig, man.
Why not?
He's too messed up
Too weird, too messed up.
for TV and movie. He's too messed. Nah, that's
The
like
TV show, so why not?
I think those sort of
Nah,
characters for what Matt Reeves is kind of aiming for, I think they make sense. Clayface is interesting though because everyone kind of thought that he didn't want to do metahumans or characters with powers.
Yeah.
So if they actually do decide to do one, that would be interesting to see how someone with powers fits in.
I think he'll take his own adapted like what am I saying? His own like take on Clayface as opposed to making Clayface a metahuman. But the Professor Pig one, I don't know, man. Like he's one of the most disturbing characters in Batman's Rogue Gallery. Like
In what's it, Gotham Knight or the game? It wasn't. It was. Do you remember the?
in
level?
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you remember the side quest for him?
Yeah. Play that. Yeah.
It's just kind of like it reminds me of what's it, like True Detectives. Do you ever watch that?
Yeah.
Do you ever watch that? Like the first season, like where it's like it is grotesque and there's a lot of like body horror and stuff like that. But it could work. It could work. It
Is
would just be,
Professor
it would be
Pig the one
dark.
that kidnapped those kids as well?
Oh right.
One thing or someone else?
I mean, in
probably has
True
like,
Detective
in
though, it's like kids and it's like young girls and stuff like that.
Professor Pig probably has kidnapped kids before, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like in Young Justice he kidnapped kids as well, in Young Justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he does, so.
I forgot he was even in that.
But I love him do that because Professor Pig, especially, we don't see him much in general
Nah.
Batman stuff, so.
Like Professor Pig, Calendar Man, them type of like.
And I'll enjoy that where they do spin-off TV series of building up these characters up, then bring them to movies instead of having to them not getting fully fleshed out in the movies because they're sharing the screen with Batman.
But then
Yeah,
are we
no,
expecting these characters to not face any adversity in terms of like Batman or the police or anything else? Like just be like roaming free and doing whatever they want to do.
I wouldn't say it's Robin free, it's just showing them get to where their stage where they become enough of a problem where
Right.
Batman has to intervene.
Right. So almost like the Joker then. The Joker on film. So would it be something like that?
Something like that, yeah. But it'll be TV series.
Do you know? That's what I've waited for that for years. You know, that's fine. I can work with that. Harrison Ford is officially confirmed as Thunderbolt Ross.
In Captain America, New World Order, and Thunderbolts.
The CGI needs to be good.
It's not going to be good.
For what specifically?
For him transforming, isn't it, into Red Hulk?
Is he definitely going to be Red Hulk?
He has to be. Nah, bro, he has to be. No. He has to be. Like,
But the thing is,
I think he does, innit?
is it going to be pointless if he's Red Hulk, but the Hulk is not actually in this movie? Does he still have to be Red Hulk?
yeah, I don't necessarily think we need Red Hulk versus Hulk right away. But we just need to establish that Red Hulk exists. He's there. Let's see it. Do you know what I mean? We've waited ages for like.
So will you and you want to see that in New World Order or in Thunderbolts? Or New World Order leading into Thunderbolts?
Either.
Probably like a cutscene in New World Order.
Yeah, because we know that the leader is in New World Order as well. This
Yeah.
is obviously pretty big Hulk links. And we know Harrison Ford is as well, playing...
Don't know about Ross.
Exactly.
You know
so-
funny things though? Harrison Ford hates these type of movies, you know?
Does he?
Yeah, he doesn't like, he hates to watch Star Wars. Indiana Jones he loves, but Star Wars, like, I don't give a shit about the Force and all that. Now he's doing those thing. You know the bag is pretty
Yeah,
well.
handsomely.
Handsomely.
But I think that's
Because remember there was like a Comic-Con thing like a couple of years back. Someone like a fan came up to me, like, I don't want to talk about Star Wars. But now another guy talking about Indiana Jones, he was loving it. You
I don't
what
get why he
did.
loves the Indiana Jones film so much, but not Star Wars. That's kind of
mad,
weird. Yeah.
But that's where he's at with it, isn't it?
Ain't he like 90?
That's
I mean,
it.
I was thinking that he's a bit old as well, isn't
He's
he?
getting on years, so I'm not surprised. Maybe because the Star Wars fandom is just so toxic as well.
Probably that as well. Probably a lot.
Needs to escape.
Yeah, a lot of mad annoying.
Alright,
Cool. First look at Creed 3 starring Michael B. Jordan and Jennifer Majors.
Do you know, I've not seen one of the Creed films.
You know,
They're good.
They're good, yeah.
See, I heard they're rubbish.
Yeah, they're good.
First one's really good.
Yeah.
I've watched the first one, I haven't watched the one
I
after.
think obviously it's Creed like Rocky. You kind of got to suspend reality as well because a lot of it's like if you're a fan of boxing, some of it a lot of it don't make sense of
Right.
how quickly he gets his fights and whatnot. But if you're a Rocky fan, you like Creed.
I don't know, I like Rocky, but I don't really watch
Yeah,
Creed.
like nothing really drew me to watch Creed, honestly. Like, even as like a part-time, you want to call it Rocky fan, nothing was like, oh, let me
Number
watch
one
Creed.
is much better.
Yeah,
but,
more was
yeah,
better,
it's much
better too.
Okay, so you
So
supposed to
watch
finish
the
rubbish as well.
Not rubbish. Just think it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be fine. The number 2 was good. It was
Yeah,
fine.
alright.
But number 1 is really good. So I would say
I probably enjoyed number one more because obviously it talks about Donnie, him growing up without knowing his dad was, or
yeah, it was
all that stuff,
more
yeah.
of an interesting story.
more
yeah.
interesting compared to 2 where he just fights the son of who killed his dad.
Yeah.
Of Ivan
Drago.
Ivan
Yeah.
Drago,
Drago, yeah.
fights the
Right.
son of Ivan Drago.
So it is directly linked
Yeah,
to
to me that's
the
too
Rocky
boring
films.
of a
Yes, yeah.
story.
It's
like,
too,
you know,
it's too predictable. It's
It's
too
like,
easy.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get revenge for my dad.
Yeah, exactly.
So played out.
Yeah.
And even in that movie as well too, the first fight, like the first fight happens so quickly, but it ends because he hits him in the back, he's knocked out, whatever. And yeah, the fight months it's a bit silly. But even Creed 3, like the premises obviously is Donnie and his friend.
So I'm guessing Jonathan Majors is the guy he's fighting. Right?
Yeah, but his friend, obviously they were friends as kids. The guy does 18 years in jail, then he's like comes out like a month later, he's fighting Creed. Creed is meant to be a world champion. But obviously you got to suspend reality a bit, like, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Fair.
I like number one because of Tessa Thompson. That's what
Yeah, Tess Thompson, yeah. She's amazing in it as well.
So not for the boxing.
Yeah. Also, another thing as well. Also, people talk about obviously, which is cool. Jonathan Majors, he's gonna be Kang. He's such a great actor. We've seen him in Loki already. He's gonna. People say he's gonna act rings around Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah, of course he is. He's an actor.
Yeah, he's an actor. He's
Like-
cinema. He's
Like
cinema.
Michael B. Jordan's an actor. He's an actor.
He's
You
an
know what I
actor,
mean?
bruv, yeah.
Thespian type thing.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
thespian.
A Gangs of New York TV series is in the works with Martin Scorsese. Really?
Exec, produce, and direct the first two
Okay, I'm
episodes.
guessing this is in relation to like Gangs of London, right?
No, it's
you watch Gang
the
Milk,
film, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's a film. So
You see Gang
when is
Milk?
it? It's set in like the 1800s?
Yeah, 1800s, yeah.
So like before they got freedom, right? Before the independence
Nah,
borderline.
it's on the borderline of the Civil War.
of the Civil War,
The
yeah.
Civil War.
When did this film come out?
What, Gangs of New York?
Yeah.
Years back, man.
2000.
I've not seen it.
I
Okay,
can't lie, I ain't watched it.
Nah.
It wasn't his
listen
best
up.
film. That's why it's very strange that they're doing a series.
Did Scorsese do the original? Yeah,
Yeah, it's his film. So it's got
Yeah,
Leonardo
it came out
DiCaprio.
2002.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Bro, I've
Okay, I
never
need to
seen
watch it. I need to watch it. I have no reference for it.
With DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Also, with that, also kind of has that aspect of. I don't know. Can I spoil it?
Yeah, no, go ahead, man.
Basically, Leonardo DiCaprio, his dad's basically like a part of like an Irish gang. They're facing like America. You know, Irish like 800. A lot of them emigrated to New York.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
And they were treated like...
Yeah, so they were treated like horribly in it. So they'll treat, you know, like the thing, no blacks, no Irish.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They'll treat horribly in it. So they're fighting for their rights. So they're fighting like American gangs, right? And the dad, he has his own gang, and he dies on the battlefield from the guy. And years later, he gets his revenge on that guy.
What year is this set in?
Like,
18.
when Civil War, American Civil War, 1700s, whenever that was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
during the Civil War.
Yeah, during the Civil War.
Whenever that Civil War was,
It's
during
there.
then.
Yeah.
And then what? They're making a TV show about that around
Yeah.
about the same time.
Around, probably a continuation, innit?
Fair enough.
Is that going to be good though? I just feel like
Yeah,
it's
like
kind
they
of
said, the film wasn't his best. Like the
Yeah.
film, so I don't know if they're going to just be doing a rehash of the whole of the film to do it again.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Do you think it would potentially work better in TV show format than a movie?
I wouldn't say so. The thing is, I don't know if it's Martin Scorsese like tax, but he did get 7.5 on IMDb, 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, 70% on Metacritic.
But then this is Scorsese and this is 2002.
Yeah, it's not his best work.
Exactly. But Scorsese's best work is,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, like good.
so-
For, yeah, but that's what you expect
But
from
on a
him.
tangent, has anyone seen Gangs of London?
Yes.
No.
Bruv,
Well,
that show-
no season 2 though.
I saw season 1. That show
Why
is
is it so gory?
fucking sick.
Why is it so gory though?
I love it. I don't know who signed up for it.
That's what surprised me the most.
It's so
The
violent.
violence is like something out of a horror movie.
I've not seen anything that violent on TV, maybe ever. Right?
That sort of violence is something you expect out of like horror
Yeah,
movies.
it's like it's full, like, almost full on gore, but like
the blood, the breaking of neck, the breaking of
Bruv, that is
so
the body
violent.
is just like
the
shaking.
body getting like dismembered.
But even with that side, like the camera work, the action scenes, the dialogue, the character building, the work.
Kind of like Elliot pisses me off.
It's so good.
Elliot pisses
It's
me
so
off.
good, and I'm just like,
Is it that good?
Yeah,
no, bro, it's like even like the violence, like I said, it's so good. Like I didn't even know about like season 2 happening. And I was like, let me just watch the show in it. Like, what's everyone like talking about? And bro, it's such a fucking good show.
So on
Like,
Netflix.
no. I'm watching it on. I'm watching it.
You
Now
got that
TV.
There we go. That's what I'm watching
Yeah,
it.
now TV. Yeah, same.
That's how I'm watching it. Now TV, 100%.
Watch it now on TV.
No, but no, yeah, definitely watch it, man. Like, if you can, watch season 1. Like, such a good show. Loki season 2 is reportedly wrapped up filming, out in less than a year. Okay, interesting. So, less than a year. It's 2024.
To come out probably mid to late 2023.
How do we feel about the Loki ending? Did we actually like it?
I like the whole like dynamic with Kang and that.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I wasn't really.
Does Loki need a season 2? I mean, it's happening regardless.
Yeah,
Like,
but-
I don't know. I'm not that excited for it.
That's a good question. Does he need a season 2? That kind of question leads to the other question. Do the other shows need a season 2?
I mean,
Everyone's story is different though, so the same
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily apply.
Did WandaVision have a hard end?
Yeah.
Did it?
No, but I think it should.
None of
do
these
though.
shows had a hard
Yeah.
end. But I
no,
think-
but obviously it's like it's the MCU in it, so
It's
everything
a
has to
character
lead.
by character basis.
Yeah.
Wanda doesn't need one because we've seen Wanda. We don't need another one. But with Moon Knight, for example, we've only just seen him, and then they hinted at him having the other split personality who we didn't see in the first season. So
season
he
2
can
is probably
probably
gonna
get
happen.
one. It's
Yeah.
justified, isn't it? So yeah, case by case basis. But
I say Loki does need another season because we're talking about obviously variants, multiverse and stuff like that.
Right.
There's a lot more to delve in and pack into.
Yeah.
Plus, even speaking of Kang as well, they've shown Kang, so that brings a whole nother aspect of even like time travel as well.
Yeah.
Loki's only just really been introduced to that as well.
Exactly.
So there's
That's
for
why
him
he
to
needs-
explore it as well.
It's,
isn't
more,
it?
it's less about him and more about what they can explore in terms of topics.
Okay, I agree.
He's just the plot device moving these topics forward. Because we're not gonna get a lot of these topics explained in the movies. We're not.
Yeah, because
So I'd rather them get explained in the Loki going through these trials and tribulations. So we know about the multiverse, the variants. That adds another topic, and also the time
TVA.
travel, the TVA, them as well. Even learn more about them as well.
cool, I agree.
Because surely that stuff will all eventually tie into Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
or
know what I
even
mean? So-
Quantumania.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Alright, last bit of news, apparently it's fake news though.
Yeah. They got me. I saw it. Yeah, I was so happy I put it in.
But it could, like, I think it's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw it, yeah. And I went, no, that's sick, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got hit with the pump fake, but you putting it in there. So then I then Googled it, innit? Yeah. And I couldn't find nothing for it online. So I said, no, what? So then I went on Twitter and I searched it and I saw Disgusting
Alright,
Films.
so it is like the fake news is there would have been
A sequel.
to Sky High
It got cancelled though, innit?
set 5 years after
So it would be Sky University.
Sky University. Yeah.
That would be so sick though, man. See them grown up.
Yeah.
They were fully involved with their powers, the heroes and the sidekicks.
Someone needs to start a petition.
Hey,
I ain't gonna do it. But
I mean,
someone should.
like you start it, I'll do it. It's fine, I'll sign it. But like Sky High was a good superhero film, like for the time.
It was before its time. 100%.
It was definitely before its time.
If that was like the concept, if it was made now, it'd be 100 times better.
And I also really enjoyed how obviously they get the powers through PB. He was a late groomer. Stuff like that was really cool as well.
Yeah, Sky University would be good actually, but I think the issue with them would be, would everyone compare it to like the MCU and like Marvel and DC and all that kind of?
But I feel at that point we kind of need stuff outside of MCU and DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. True.
We kind
True.
of do.
It's a bit. We'll get to that point where it's like, okay, well, are there any other superheroes that exist?
You know what I'm saying?
Like any other
When
hero
they are.
films or TV shows that exist, type thing. So, I mean, we have The Boys at least.
Yeah, and
So,
look the boys.
Boys, Invincible.
Look how popular those things are.
Yeah, true.
Like, do you remember the movie Chronicle?
yes.
That was before its time as well.
Chronicle, right?
It was a bit too
Chronicles
broody
sick.
though. Who was in it? It was the guy who plays Green Goblin in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, and who's the black guy? It was. Name escapes me, but it was a good film.
Even speaking of stuff like even Heroes.
Heroes was good. No, Heroes was good.
The first few seasons was very good.
listen,
Outside of the DC or Marvel remake.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But
You even got like I Am Legend as a movie.
I'm Legend. And to be fair, also it's not really superheroes, but I'm so waiting for Dune, man. I really love Dune,
I still
bro,
watched
I like
the
Dune
first
too.
What?
We like Dune. Dune was great, man.
I was not expecting anything
Nah,
at all.
same.
I thought, alright, cool, we got free tickets, let's just go watch it. I fell in love.
Dune was great.
They should have filmed it back to back.
Yeah, facts.
Dune
Nah,
was amazing,
Dune was
bro.
incredible,
Amazing.
man. Incredible.
Timothy Chalamet. That's my
Like,
goal.
I can't lie, I didn't rate him before that,
Nah,
but for
that's
that
my
film,
goal,
I
that's
rate
my
him. Timothy did his thing, bro. This episode of the ELGATO podcast is brought to you by ELGATO and the new Wave 1 microphone. Now, I know you're probably thinking this is some generic podcast ad, but mate, you cannot deny the sound quality. The new Wave 1 has allowed us to deliver an incredible audio experience for you guys, while still allowing us to deliver the same great content you all love and enjoy. So go check out the new Wave 1 and see how it can improve your audio content. Now, back to our episode.
Cool, time for the main topic time. What we're here for.
Main topic time.
Black Adam review. When did you watch Black Adam? You watched it?
So I watched Black Adam.
How many times have you watched
I seen it twice now.
You did it twice, okay.
I saw
First
it, I saw it 2 weeks. I didn't see it last week. I saw it the week before Wednesday.
Early access.
Yeah.
What was that?
No. Warner Brothers House.
Oh, well, okay, yeah.
And then saw it again on Tuesday for the premiere. And I think the Tuesday I saw it, as in last week, or this week rather.
Mm-hmm.
Time, I don't know. But when I saw it at the premiere, I was like, okay, this film is aight. It's not incredible. And I have a lot of notes, but like, it's entertainment.
Mm.
Like, I see what The Rock was doing, but I have notes. And I think I said,
You watched it yesterday as well.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
I watched it yesterday as well, yeah.
alright, so
Let's get started with it.
break it down. Plot.
Yeah.
Plot. It's basic.
It's basic.
It's basic. Like it's nothing like overly complicated. You don't need to have like a good like remit on what the whole new Black Adam is to kind of understand it. It's
What do you guys think? Obviously, as we know his backstory coming up as a slave. Obviously, him getting the power from his son. Obviously, what do you think about that? I was kind of confused. I think, was it the son? Is it him?
I think they've done it. They've done that intentionally. But you know what? Yeah, obviously when they introduced the story at the start, when they're showing you at the start, when you saw the boy and when you saw the dad, in my head, is that him?
Yeah.
Is that him?
That was
They make you
big,
think it's the son.
though.
The plot was very predictable. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, I pretty much predicted everything throughout the movie. Nothing surprised me, not once. So yeah,
Like,
the plot was very simplistic. But
I think it was bait that obviously his dad was The Rock, but then I thought the one thing I did think early on was that okay, when he turned into Black Adam, he ended up looking like his dad anyway. Do you know what I mean? in Black,
Yeah.
like in his Black Adam.
When he
form.
had the powers, yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to looking
Cool.
different. So I think there's that. But the plot was, I think a lot of the plot was wasted on Black Adam and not showing us like the JSA,
100%.
what they stood for, what motivates them, you know, that kind of thing.
Why they work with Amanda Waller?
Why they working with
she's
Amanda
sketchy
Waller?
as hell.
Do you know what I mean?
She's
Just
sketchy.
even how they came together.
Yeah.
But there was like little hints, like for example, with Atom Smasher, he's obviously saying he got the costume for his granddad. So
Yeah, I like that.
You know, there's other people that have been there.
Or
but
even Hawkman, we don't know his backstory. You know,
That was the worst
his
part.
backstory. He's very convoluted and kind of confused as well. Because
Exactly.
he's either a Fanagorian or his other wasn't like Connor Clark. That what his name is.
That was confusing.
They didn't talk about that, so we don't know if Hawkman, if he's an alien.
Yeah.
You know, this Hawkman, it kind of changes.
That's what annoyed
alien
me.
or
His backstory is quite important.
And I think
like does he that they were talking about him dying, but I'm thinking there,
Right.
but Hawkman, he can reincarnate.
Exactly. So
yeah,
it made sense.
that annoyed me the most.
Yeah.
That annoyed me the most. Definitely Hawkman's backstory. They basically they failed with his character.
It's almost like they couldn't decide on what backstory they wanted to use for him. Because when they alluded to, obviously, when he said, that's a feared death, I was like, okay, well, if he dies, he can reincarnate.
Yeah, 'cause he's scared of death,
That's
you know, yeah.
part of his, his cycle as a hero. But it's like, then you had like Dr. Fate sacrifice himself so Hawkman wouldn't die. And I'm like,
He can die.
But why?
Yeah, but why? But I guess they're kind of like, without saying it, going for the human version of him, I guess. But even then, with Hawkman, we could have got a bit more.
They did.
But even with the plot, I don't know why, but I felt like there was obviously the slave part. I feel like that should have been even more of him as a character, and they show enough where the reason he doesn't listen now because he spent all of his life listening to slave masters and whatnot, and why he's so stubborn, so to speak.
like, they didn't really touch on like the dynamic between obviously him being destitute, but under enslavement because of the king's like great ambitions and things like that. It was just more like I'm just mad because my son and my wife died because of the king and this thing, not as opposed to like being Kandak savior like he was portrayed to be. And just like the script work as well was just very.
I do think there were
Shoddy.
some likable factors
Yeah.
about the story. Like
No, there was.
I did like the fact that it was actually the sun. I did like the fact that it was the sun. The statue was of the sun, and he kind of thought the way he acts is because he didn't think he was as much of a hero or worthy as his son was.
Yeah.
And he didn't think the world was worth it without his son being in it. I like that whole kind of element they put into it. But yeah, no, it definitely could have been better.
Yeah, we needed work. I think just overall, like plot wise, I mean, speaking of good points on the plot, though, I think the end part or the beginning part of that the third act where he gives up his powers, so Shazam allows them to take him away. I did like that part. I did like that. I think.
Well, that though, because obviously, I know, can we say Injustice is canon, but there's been times where obviously Black Adam he gets tricked to saying Shazam because he's lived for so long he dies. Why didn't they like?
It's a retcon. It's clearly a retcon.
Yeah.
Like obviously him. Technically, him being in prison probably didn't age him. I don't know, but like it's clearly a retcon.
Also, one thing I don't know if they did on purpose, and it happened towards later. I didn't know if it's maybe through my own fault. I thought this movie kind of felt like for a while it's kind of self-enclosed, like the outside DC universe doesn't matter. Because I was thinking like, okay, Amanda Waller's in this, but why are they not speaking? Why are they using these specific characters to bring in this powerhouse? If that made sense.
Yeah, again, but that goes down to like the JSA being kind of almost wasted and being like
because we have the Justice League.
Yeah,
but
no,
why didn't they bring in the? You know what I'm saying?
It was not the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, I feel it's a bit weird why maybe they're working alongside Amanda Waller and why they're not like independent.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because she's got like the technology and stuff to actually help them. Do you know what I mean? But it could have been done a little bit better. But at the same time, they need to introduce different teams. And now we've got the Suicide Squad, the Justice League, and we've got these lot as well. The Justice Society of America are a big team. I feel like the way they introduced them was well.
I don't think they got introduced well enough because with Suicide Squad, we know what introduced with the criminals and the working for Amanda Waller, but just say why have these guys specifically come together?
So I think they were introduced well, just in the sense of that's how you get them into the story. That's how you get them into the DCEU. Them being the guys that need to take Black Adam down, I think that was quite good. But it's just the way they executed it. They could have just given us a little bit more backstory.
And why
I would have appreciated more on Dr. Fate.
Like for example, that's true. We know what Justice League come together. We know why the Suicide Squad come together. We don't know exactly what these guys.
But even then,
Like they was hinting at the past a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like Dr. Fate was saying how he's known Hawkman for so long. They've been such good friends, but they don't show it. They didn't show us it.
But my point is that with the JSA, it felt like Hawkman and Dr. Fate were the JSA, and then you got Cyclone and Ant-Man who just felt like
add-ons.
new recruits.
Yeah, they kind of been. Yeah,
So the question that becomes, where's the rest of the JSA? Like why, like you said, why particularly these 4 characters are the ones that brought together?
And why these 2 guys knew who are they replacing?
Right.
What happened?
Right.
To get replaced.
Again, this
Stuff like that.
is all plot stuff that could have been explained properly, or like
Also, another thing, like we got to remember, with Black Adam, that got announced years before Shazam. I speak all the time. With all these years, you think this is the best they can give us? That's kind of my issue.
I made the point of like this film feels like it's been stuck in place for 15 years. Like if this film had come out around the time of like X-Men, Spider-Man, Daredevil, Elektra, what kind of films would have been great, amazing. But it just feels like The Rock time locked this idea and this script and what he wanted the Black Adam film to be, right? To brought it then to like 2022, slapped on Henry Cavill as Superman, or wanted to just face Superman at some point anyway, and I said like, this is the film I want. As opposed to like showing growth and depth of the character, and producing a good storyline for Black Adam. I think I don't know. It felt like he just was just so stubborn on the film he wanted to make, and that's the film he got.
What do you guys think of the commentary, like in terms of obviously being like the neo-colonialism and stuff like that? What do you guys think of the commentary of that? Like the what's it called? What do you call it? What gang?
The
Intergang. Intergang being neo-colonialist. What do you think of the commentary of that? And taking the natural resources and all that stuff.
It was okay. It was nothing. I was nothing like too like ooh nothing too shocking. But it's what I kind of it was fine. It was calm. Like.
How do you feel about
because I think
them displaying how they displayed his powers? I think overall it was done quite well.
The powers are good. The power displays were good. Like the action scenes with him being Black Adam, I think were good. Like I can't fault that at all. Like it felt like
he was as strong as he should be.
Yeah, he was a powerhouse.
It felt in terms of like power scaling, I think they got him very, very accurate. To be fair,
but some of the slow-mo scenes after a while, like.
Do you know what? I didn't think there was that many. And sometimes when you go into a DC movie, you always go in like, okay, where's the slow-mo? Where's the slow-mo? There was just the one scene, when he first when he's outside the base and he literally, the whole scene's in like slow-mo, and then right at the end it speeds up. Everything speeds up.
But they were putting that to music though, right? And I think
but still, like I didn't need that much slow-mo. Like
But
that one scene where he takes out that whole little crew of people and he's like moving the bullets and he's just doing this and whatever he's doing.
But isn't that to show how fast he is?
Yeah, I know it's to show how fast he is, but like
you don't need that much.
I don't need that much though, innit? Like, I know how fast he is.
Hey, what about the visual effects? How do you feel about them?
I thought they were quite good. Maybe like the CGI guy at the end was a bit iffy at times, but like he's an all CGI villain. I think like it was good. It held up.
What do you think of the Rock portrayal of Black Adam though?
Okay. So, the question I had was, should The Rock have played Black Adam to begin with? Only because I think I made this point in my review, like for YouTube, right? Like in this day and age where we're talking about representation and inclusion and equity and everything else, blah, blah, blah. Should The Rock, who's a Polynesian man, have played this Middle Eastern, Northern African character that is Teth Adam, Black Adam? Like, should he have been the one to play the character as opposed to being maybe behind the camera? I feel
that during the movie because obviously you see it, they fully go in depth.
Yeah, like it's clear whether like they may not say like this is set in like the Middle East, but it's very clear this is like Middle East, Northern African, Arab region, 100%. And it's like okay, so should The Rock have been the one to play this character? It doesn't matter. He looks like Black Adam, but should he have been the one to play Black Adam? Should they have gone, a Middle Eastern actor? Who's probably just as wham out, I know, or would have gone gym to get to that size to play Black Adam. And I don't know whether or not it's a yes or no answer because, like, obviously The Rock has pushed for this film. It's gone to this point where everyone's like, watched it, they enjoy it, but then it's like, okay, are we now going to not demonize, or are we going to like vilify this film because the representation wasn't right? And for me, it's like I'm not Middle Eastern, I'm not North African, so it's not really my fight per se. So, you know, I'll leave them to them and to decide whether or not they like his portrayal or not. But I just think it's a question that's worth considering and worth thinking about.
But it's definitely something I've thought about because they don't shy away from it being like Middle Eastern type ish, and they don't shy away from that. So I think in the movie, we have an issue with it. But I want to talk about the portrayal of like just him
playing the character.
I think he plays the character well. He does a good job.
I think he actually did. I was a bit worried about how he was going to do it. I thought I was going to be watching The Rock.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But-
like you usually see, innit? Just The Rock.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think
him playing himself. Yeah.
I think he done quite well, and I think they done quite well to display he was obviously out of time. He was out of time. He's obviously, did they say 5,000 years?
Yeah, 500 years.
So yeah, you could see that he wasn't really.
Even the period when he's in the house, like him just going
Walking
through
through
walls and thing, and not know what the TV is. I really did enjoy that part as well.
That was funny.
It was still a little funny part that.
The little bit where he, what did he do? Did he light in the wall and it was the Superman logo?
That fight was sick when he just punched all the Superman stuff.
And you got all the Batman toys in the background and that. I thought that was pretty cool.
But even another reason I'm kind of annoyed they didn't like go in depth with Hawkman. Like for a while he was like holding up against Black Adam. So I'm thinking, how are you so powerful enough to hold up against Black Adam? Like,
but we don't know.
We don't know.
It's a shame that they didn't really explore that. It's too tough.
And he's loaded.
Yeah.
He had that whole estate.
Yeah, the whole estate. Even where'd you get that from? That was all like the whole estate. Even with Dr. Fate, he's kind of what I've been living for 100 plus years.
I wanted to see his castle, man.
Yeah, like you know, I want to see his castle. So about okay, how do you get those powers?
Man was looking richer than Batman. I can't lie to you. Like he was.
The castle open up from.
Do you know what I mean? Batman ain't got that.
You got a fully metal ship.
Batman ain't got that.
Yeah, I know that's crazy, isn't it?
Like stuff like that is just it kind of like yeah, man.
A lot of people commented that the Rock like portrayal of like Black Adam was very like one because like he was very like monotone and like very serious throughout. What do you guys think of that?
I think
It should be.
yeah.
I agree.
He's meant to be like the antithesis of Shazam. You know, like, oh, lucky go. And plus, he's gone through more serious things. Remember, he spent most of his life before he got his powers as a slave.
Okay,
There's different emotions and different things that come with it. So you got to be more serious.
That brings me to another thing that annoyed me. I feel like in the movie there should have been something somewhere. Black Adam should have known or found out that Shazam exists.
Yeah, but other champions, yes.
Yeah.
He should know because
That's what
especially like when you see the kid's room and he's like, Superman's my favorite,
Yeah.
Batman's whatever.
The kid's
got all the toys. The kid knows about these heroes.
But he
clearly.
mentioned Shazam once.
He doesn't mention Shazam.
Yeah.
That kid has comic books in his bag.
Exactly.
He knows about
these characters. And also,
the minute he see Black Adam, he would have known that is the opposite to Shazam.
I was 100% expecting Shazam to either be seen on reference
Or mentioned like,
in the post-credit scene.
Like, similar to Shazam. Nothing. And that's another reason I thought it was kind of like a self-imposed movie because it felt like everything that's happened is just in here.
Yeah.
Shazam and these other characters don't exist.
Or even
That's
if it
what
was the
felt like.
other way round and it was Shazam finding out that Black Adam exists, even if it was I would have taken it.
I think for me, the post-credit scene I envisioned was like the wizard teleporting Black Adam back to like the Rock of Eternity. You know, saying okay, you know, you're back. You'll get to keep these powers, but just so you know, there's another one like you. His name is Shazam, and he's like, who's Shazam? End the thing. I don't know, but like you said, like it felt like they purposely left out Shazam from this film, and just to push this whole like Superman versus Batman thing. Sorry, Shazam, Black Adam.
You
thing.
forget about that's why it felt so self-imposed. If that movie was not connected to anything else, even I don't know if that's an issue for anyone. But it felt like that movie.
I didn't feel like it was.
No,
I mean, they had.
Obviously had the comic books and whatnot. We think he's the
No, but they had like Amanda Waller. So you
No, but
Task Force.
Shazam is such an important part
No, I
of
get
Black
that.
Adam.
I'm not disagreeing
Yeah.
with that. Like I said, that
Shazam, there's no Black Adam.
that annoyed me as well.
Shazam comes before Black Adam.
I get that. I get that. But what I'm saying is, the way that it was for me, it was fine. It didn't feel like it was enclosed. I agree they should have had Shazam in it, but that doesn't then make me feel like that it was not enclosed for the rest of the DCEU because you saw references to other heroes.
Yeah.
You had Amanda Waller in it. You had
seen.
Task Force X. You had Harcourt in it. She was in the Peacemaker TV show.
Okay.
So I still felt like it was connected. But they missed. But it did feel like they purposely excluded Shazam. They shouldn't have done that.
And I feel like this goes back again to how The Rock views Black Adam as a character and views the wider DC universe, where for him, his big
I
thing
noticed
is...
he never talks about Shazam.
He does, exactly!
He never talks about
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say.
I get it.
That's what I'm trying to
When
say.
he's about hierarchies of power, who's he always talking about?
He's talking about Superman. Because I feel like
never talk about Shazam.
the Rock just wants this thing where he has this moment where it's him versus Superman, and because like he's Wham and Henry Cavill's Wham, so it's two Wham
So they
guys
should fight,
going
yeah.
out against each other, so they should fight. And you know he plays like Superman's really powerful, so is Black Adam, so it's just be two powerful guys going at each other.
two powerful,
but
yeah.
I'm like, how are you gonna?
Your character was created for Shazam.
How are you gonna overlook
He's
Shazam?
gone as far as to say he already knows how the scene's played out in his head. That's what he said, didn't he?
That's all he wants. He wants this big moment with Superman on screen. But it's like,
Yeah, I'm
how
not
are you
mad
gonna
though.
overlook Shazam?
No, I get that. You can't
Because
do that,
Shazam will
yeah.
F you up, bro. Let's not get this.
Even forget about that. It's just literally your character was literally made for something to Shazam to overcome.
Right.
Yeah.
You're a plot device for Shazam.
Right.
I get that, but at the same time, Black Adam deserves his own movie. He deserves his
He
story
does.
to
I'm
be
not saying he
told.
doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, innit? I like the post credit as well.
It was a good
to
post
see-
credit.
It's interesting to see what's going to happen after that.
Also go back to a point of The Rock has so much power for him to get Henry Cavill involved in this thing. As we said, he bypassed Kamala, what we about to
Yeah.
forget his name, to bring
went
Henry
upstairs.
Cavill. Went upstairs.
He went upstairs and
He
said-
made a call.
I need to talk to you.
I need to talk to you. Henry Cavill? Forget what you're doing. The Witcher, the Watcher. Hey, come do a 5-minute scene for me.
Do you think though that the Black Adam movie only happened because the DCEU was in this kind of like, you know my favorite word, clusterfuck of a mess? So there was this big gap of like, what do we do? Do you know what? Let's just shove in a Black Adam movie.
It was meant to happen years ago.
think
Yeah,
the
but obviously, but that was like
was rocks.
years ago.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then we've had all these like superhero movies. We've had the Justice League film. We've had Suicide Squad twice. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I think schedules for The Rock. I genuinely feel like he probably came to Warner Brothers in DC and said, "I want to play Black Adam, make it happen." And they said, "Yeah." They put it into development, but the time probably hasn't been right until now.
DC
DC,
pushed back a couple times as well.
and it's been pushed back quite a few times. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, speaking of that, what do you think is what's next for Black Adam in the DCU? Because he said, obviously, we know The Rock. The Rock himself, like I said before, a week or so, he's such a big A-list superstar, right? He kind of engulfs, you know.
See, this is.
Engulfs everything. he
I get what you're
touches,
saying.
right?
That there can be downsides to it, but I think there's also positives that
But
you can
also-
get from
also-
it. We spoke about the new Superman movie that's in the works.
Of course.
Would this movie be being made if it wasn't for him?
Without him,
But
yeah.
that's
true,
That's
but also,
one thing, though, isn't it? That's
No,
one.
but even...
But that's what we want more than anything.
Yeah, true. But
That's
I want to
a
say this
massive
though.
part.
I want to say this though. Black Adam obviously is a great character, great backstory, but in terms of like DC stories, like the continuity, like New 52, whatever, the new whatever or Rebirth, whatever,
Yeah.
he's not that important.
No, I agree.
Also, on the flip side now, would you guys have an issue with him being one of the most important characters going forward in DCEU?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Depends like what the storyline is, why he's the most important. But no, not really.
No, I would because I feel like again it goes down to this thing of like The Rock wanting the DCEU to revolve around him.
Yeah.
If it revolves around him, that's a different story. Then I probably wouldn't
Like,
know.
it's
But
just-
I wouldn't mind him being a very big presence.
Cool.
As long as he's a part of the story, not he is the story.
Okay.
Do you know
But
what I'm saying?
The Rock would want to be the story. He'd want to either be like the solution or the last minute save.
I don't know, man. I saw the interview.
the Deus Ex Machina type of thing. Because with the JSA, right? What's gonna happen with the JSA? Are we gonna see more of Hawkeye? Are we gonna see more of
I think we'll definitely see more of
Cyclone?
them.
Are we gonna get a new Dr. Fate?
Also, even back to another issue I had with Hawkman as well. Yeah, obviously him having issue with the Rock, Black Adam killing. Hawkman be killing, bro. Hawkman be killing.
100%.
Hawkman be killing.
Does it mean that people didn't die?
He seems too much. I don't know. He seems.
No, I'm on about Hawkman the character.
No, I know. But even in the film, now I'm thinking about it.
Also, I'm kind of tired of that economy. Oh, I don't kill, but I do. I'm kind of like tired of that now. You should leave it as like I kill, let that guy kill. Okay, I do it this way.
But you
The whole debate.
I felt like they had to follow that sort of.
But that debate is kind of. I'm kind of bored. I'm kind of bored of that
No, I
debate
agree.
now.
It is boring, but I feel like for Black Adam, they kind of had to go through that because he does have that mindset.
Yeah.
And he's going to come across people that don't.
Yeah.
So there's no way that they can't really do that in a Black Adam story.
But it feels like Hawkman was a bit of a yes man. As opposed to just being like, and I'm really thinking about
Amanda
it.
Waller, she's slimy as hell. They were kind of like two. That's what I said. They were kind of two. Like, yeah, Amanda, you took on this mission with no questions asked. Like,
Like
people don't do things like Amanda Waller without her having a whole secret agenda. That's what I didn't like. And like, it seemed like they were naive to it. Like everyone knows, Amanda Waller is slimy.
because it feels like Hawkman was either working for or working with the government / Amanda Waller, then brought on the other members of the JSA to kind of be like, okay,
like they were working for her without no like they didn't feel like, oh, this is odd. You know, like, everyone knows work for Amanda Waller. The setting.
Was they even aware that they're working for Amanda Waller?
No,
that's even a question.
No, you know from the thing they were speaking to her and whatnot. And
they spoke. No, Hawkman spoke to her. The rest of them didn't.
True.
I would assume that Fate at least knew.
Fate would know, fine. But the rest of them, I don't think so.
I get the kids were on a need-to-know basis, but still, like, you should, like, everyone knows, you look at Amanda Waller, something very fishy is going on. And they didn't, like, touch on her at all. Like, we know, she's dodgy.
Yeah.
That's another thing I didn't like as well.
It was a bit weird having Amanda Waller there. I don't know.
I was surprised. I can't lie, I was surprised.
But she knows about everything, though.
She does. She does know about everything, but why?
Like it's not surprising for her to have her, to I don't think so. She knows about everything. She knows about everything going on. If Batman's not sorting it out, she is.
Fair play.
What if it was a case of like Amanda Waller was the one that had the intergang infiltrate conduct to look for this crown? It's not above, because it's not above her. It's definitely not above her.
Nothing's above her, but I don't think it was the.
No, because she knew too quickly.
No, but then again, also, as we find out, the guy, he's the descendant of the king. He was looking for his own reason.
He had his own ambitions. That's why I think they were just a product of him.
Exactly. They were just moving the plot forward.
That was so played out as well, though.
Yeah.
With him being the last descendant. Yeah, that was.
Yeah. I won't lie though. I liked him becoming. Is it Sabak? That scene I thought was pretty cool.
Sabak.
Yeah. Like him being like in the underworld type thing and like the demons giving him the power. I thought that was pretty cool. I did like that scene.
It was like the skeletons though.
Yeah, that was corny.
The skeletons are corny.
Yeah, that was corny. You know, like, the Rockefeller.
That scene, that was so annoying. Oh my god, nah.
What did you think of the skateboard kid?
He was annoying as hell. I wanted to put my foot through his face, bro.
Yeah,
that thing he's got in his room was slick.
Yeah, that was cool. That little hidden interest type thing. Yeah.
But he just got too annoying too quickly. Like, and being with the whole like. I get that conduct needed like a superhero. It was under this like military control type thing, so he needed like a savior type thing. But it got played out so quickly, man.
And you knew straight away that that Ishmael guy was. Like a traitor. You knew that straight away. I know what's going on.
He's slimy, you can tell.
Like,
what do you think of the mum and the uncle?
The uncle was fun. The uncle had a funny moment, not lying.
Nah, that was alright.
I liked him, like, when he was whenever he used to call her, baby, come back. And like, I think it was great, man.
I feel like one thing though, the mum though, I thought she would end up wearing the crown, you know, because at times like it felt like she'll do anything to save her son.
Yeah.
She thought, if I can't save him, like, I ain't got the powers, I'm gonna take this power.
Yeah.
So I did like that. It showed she'll go to any length necessary to save her son. It showed. I like that.
What do you think of the citizens fighting like the?
Corny.
Same.
Like even with let's fight. We don't need heroes. We are all heroes.
That would never be me.
Yeah,
I'm hiding in
I'll be like, yo, peace out.
No, but that scene was corny, man. But it was corny. It was corny.
What do you think about like the score, the music? Like for example, you know the action scene where it played Kanye West Power.
I think that was the only highlight for me to the score.
That fit well. It fit well.
I think it could have gone on for a bit longer. I think it was cut a bit too short.
Also, another thing I didn't like as well, Black Adam kind of towards the end, he leaned over to the like heroish side. Like even when he's on a crown, like he's on the seat in it on the crown. He's like, this feels wrong,
bro.
I wanted to be a dictator, man.
I can't lie.
I want to see dictator Black Adam.
That scene when he sat on the throne, maybe top five scenes for me in that film because like. I saw it, I was like, that's from the fucking comic book.
Yeah,
he looks like freaking Black Adam.
So
he looks sick.
He looks sick. He's sitting like thinking, I feel
like, and then like he adjusts himself and like...
I want to see Dictator Black Adam.
It would have been wavy if Superman comes to him and he was just there sitting
on the throne. Yeah, man. It's not
and it shows that part of the economy, like, but you might be a hero, but I'm a king. It shows that, you know, like I love that about Black Adam as well.
I like the fact how when the JSA did pull up, they were like, who are you lot? Like, you lot aren't from here. He's from here.
Exactly.
He's been our hero.
And also, I did like that as well, like, spoke about, this is another issue, having another type of thing, like,
he went, not your country.
You know your country. Also, the Intergang, they've military controlled our country for so long. You guys have done nothing.
Right.
We find out our own savior, now you want to get involved.
Right. Where were you, like,
where were you literally?
5 years ago?
Where were you?
You know what I mean?
Where were you, bro? I love that. I really love that. But I want to see
Yeah.
Dictator Black Adam, bro. This
I mean, he
hero stuff.
should have sat in that throne and be like, do you know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I was made for this.
I'm gonna look after Kandak. You
Yeah.
know, I'm a rule
In
Kandak.
my way.
Yeah, type thing. Bun everyone on the outside. You know, JSA, you man can leave.
You can leave now.
I
Don't
got
come
this
back.
now. Yeah.
Don't let the door hit you on the way back.
That I think would have elevated the film a lot better, and then had the Amanda Waller scene pay off a lot more because like, okay, she's like,
What did she say again?
she's like, okay, you don't want to stay in my prison, fine.
And he's like-
Kandak is not your prison.
Yeah, and if you ever leave, there's no one on this planet to no one on this planet that can stop me. Like I get someone up from that's not from this planet. Then
She said she's
Or
got
off the planet.
friends, yeah.
Yeah, or
So
off
in my head, I'm thinking, okay, maybe Martian Manhunter. I wasn't necessarily expecting
Superman, yeah.
I thought Martian Manhunter.
And also, Superman-
Green Lantern.
Amanda Waller,
you know.
Superman is not Amanda Waller's friend, bro.
Exactly.
That's not a
Ludo.
Yeah, no, I get that.
That's nothing that kind of like
Ludo.
you know.
Explain it to me.
Superman and Batman don't fuck with Amanda Waller
Explain
at
it to
all.
me.
At all.
Are you trying to tell me that Amanda Waller has Superman on speed dial? I said,
come
you
on,
know,
man.
yeah. Oh, wait. What if it is Martian Manhunter?
No, man, I think it's Superman.
No, but what if it is Martian Manhunter?
What she was talking about?
That wasn't Superman.
No, I don't think
It was
so.
But why did you come as Martian Manhunter, bro? Why wouldn't you just come
Because
as
Superman's a more intimidating force.
But Black Adam don't know who Superman is. Black Adam don't know anything. Remember, he's been in prison for 5,000 years, so he has no clue who he's
Which, okay, fine. You should notice more then, because it's like, okay, are you really trying to tell me, again, Amanda Waller has Supes on speed dial and be like, I need you. And he's like, yes, ma'am, where do you want me?
I think no, but I'm not saying. I don't think it's that difficult. I think if she asked him to go see Black Adam and he knew who it was, he would go.
No.
Why wouldn't he go?
No,
Why wouldn't he go?
literally, Black Adam, he destroys the drone. He literally, Superman turns up literally right after.
So you're trying to tell me like Superman was waiting in the wings to have Amanda Waller talk to Black
Also,
Adam?
another reason as well, Black Adam at that point didn't break any rules. He didn't leave Kandak, so why is
Right.
Superman going there?
The talk.
No,
But
when Amanda Waller sends people off on missions, do you not send them to talk, bro?
She's not sending Superman on a mission. Bro. She doesn't have the clout to send Superman on a mission.
She ain't got the clout to speak to it in general. That's what I'm trying to say.
Bro, she talks to Batman.
Yeah, but he
But
ain't
she's not. Okay, I'm sorry.
She's not sending them off on missions.
I'm sorry. Amanda Waller is not sent.
No, but what I'm saying is, if Superman probably knows about Black Adam via Amanda Waller, or he would know anyway.
Yeah.
Even if she didn't exist, he would go himself regardless if he thought Black Adam was a threat.
But
it's not that hard
Amanda
to
Waller
believe,
is not
man.
sending Superman on errand.
I'm
That's
not
the point I'm making.
Fair enough, man. I get it. I hear what you're saying.
I hate-
What
no,
I'm saying is,
I agree with you.
regardless
I agree
if she
with
didn't
you.
exist, he would go anyway.
But that's not what happens.
Yeah, but the way it's being perceived, like if she asked him to go or if she gave him the information, he would go. Not because she's sending him to, he's going because he's Superman. And that's what he does. He's not answering to Amanda Waller. That's come on now.
I think he is, you know. I think he was.
It kind of
I think he was.
It kind of felt that way.
It felt that way. It definitely felt like, okay, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna talk to him. If it goes like a bit sideways and you step in. It felt like he was a yes man for Amanda Waller. And that's baffling to me. Because like Superman would never. Like he would never. Like he said, he should have been like him running up and just being like
Superman never worked alongside the government or the military.
I'm not saying he hasn't, but this is Amanda Waller we're talking about. We're not talking about the president. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
if it was the
okay,
president,
yeah, that's fair enough.
I would back you in that.
A lot of man methods. Superman and Batman hate
Hate.
Yeah, bro.
They don't fuck with
It
her.
goes directly against what they believe in.
They don't fuck
I
with
get
her at
that,
all.
but I don't necessarily see it as she was sending my man on missions. I don't see it like that. He would go anyway because it's Superman. So
Fair play.
I'm taking it like that. That's my interpretation. You man think what you would.
Fine.
So, where did DCU go from here?
I still don't, because of how it's set and the characters that it introduces that aren't really attached to anything else that we've seen. Like they can kind of do anything. The only real question in sense of like where did they go from here is what does the post credit lead into? That's the only.
Which I don't think it leads into anything. I think it was just a fan service moment because even
has to be.
I think it's The Rock deflecting muscles. Like, yo,
it was like I brought Henry Cavill back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it has to lead into something.
Because all they said, all the scene was Superman saying like, oh, that we need to talk, and they're both like smiling at each other. I'm like,
so clearly, if they're gonna talk, it clearly talks on a good basis between them.
Right.
So like, they just having a conversation. Like, I want to try.
Maybe.
Either you're in the Justice League or you're in the JSA. Help us out here, type thing.
what I would
That's
want-
what it seems like. Rather than let's talk, let's fight.
No.
How do you think that convo's gonna go?
It's gonna go like, okay, you're kind of whatever, but either during the JSA or during the Justice League. That's what it seemed the talks on go, trying to recruit him.
Do you think
Nah,
they're
I don't
going
think
to scrap?
I don't think it's recruitment. I think it's more like
He's gonna try to recruit him, but probably gonna scrap because obviously
I think Superman's going to maybe try to give him like a warning.
and there's gonna be a warning thing, and then
Say like
and then
stay in Kandak or whatever. But Superman will probably say something like, "But if I feel like," and then they'll get it cracking because Black Adam won't have
And
it.
then Black Adam's talking about, you have the jurisdiction here, Kandak is, under my protection.
This ain't America.
You Western people can't be coming up in here.
Colonizers.
Colonizers,
oh, Krypton.
I think what I would want, I'm screaming.
Bro, I ain't even from it.
What I would want is maybe Black Adam going off Shazam to get his powers. So Black Adam could be stronger. So then he can eventually face Superman. That would make sense to me. And then obviously you got Superman and Shazam versus Black Adam. If they're going to do anything, I think that's what they should do.
Things can change, obviously, things are flexible, but towards the end of the movie, it seemed like he's going more onto the hero side than the anti-hero, yeah.
Which is what we don't want. I want,
like I said, I want dictator. Black Adam.
I agree. Yeah.
So on.
I think he needs to play that dictator. Like
Another issue I have with superheroes in general recently, it seems like a character can't be a villain for too long, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It seems like either they die off, they get killed off, or they come to the good side.
Remarkability, innit? It's like Harley Quinn as well.
Yeah, she's not a villain anymore. Like,
but she hasn't been a villain for a while in the comics.
fair enough.
To be fair, yeah.
But you got a point there. But see, that's what issue I have issue. This is obviously off topic. Like Doctor Doom. It
Black
seems like
Adam's not been a villain for a while in the comics.
They're gonna waste him.
Black Adam's more of like an anti-hero in the comics as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember what comic I was reading. It might have been Shazam. Black Adam was helping him.
But the thing is, we grow with our heroes. I want to grow with our villains as well.
Yeah, no,
It seems
I
like
hear
the
that.
issue in our superhero movies. It seems like either they become good or anti-hero,
Or they just get killed off.
or they get killed off. You don't see anyone growing to their villainhood. If that makes sense.
I mean, the only kind of villain that we still got established in any of the mediums is what's the name? Darkseid. Like even then, Darkseid was only around for like a couple scenes anyway, and Darkseid's probably eventually gonna get killed off by Supes. So that's that, kind of gone. Like even with like Marvel, like how many villains do like stick around apart from like Thanos?
Do you know what? Villains in comic book movies in general is clearly hard to do, isn't it?
Is it though? Like,
But they've all got issues with it though.
because I don't see why they always need to be killed off or turn
No,
to
neither.
good.
Like, do you know what I hate more than anything though? I hate fake deaths in it. So you can't kill people off and then bring them back in it. I hate it.
Yeah.
But in comics, people get beat all the time and come back. You know what I mean? People come back, reappear in comics all the time. Movies, it should happen more.
Like even if it's not they're the main villain in that movie, at least like let us know that they're still alive out here doing shit.
It doesn't even have to necessarily be like they're facing them again. They can have like a different role, a different purpose, but just to show that they still exist would be better.
You see the Black Adam debut, so at 50% on Rotten Tomatoes and based on 42 reviews.
I think that's harsh.
I think the critics were very, very, very harsh on this film. Very, very harsh. I think they took a lot of, I guess, the pain points, I would say, that people have with the film, the plot, the lack of, like, JSA fleshing out, and, like, again, The Rock playing, Middle Eastern character, the little kind of thing.
Is that people? I thought
Yeah,
about it. I thought about it, but I didn't know
in
people
every
talking about it.
review I read, that IGN, the Hollywood Reporter, all these kind of things, the main things they always mention is the scripts and the plot, the fleshing out of the JSA, The Rock playing a Middle Eastern character, and then I think some people also mentioned that the fight scenes were a bit here and there. Those are the main four things. That
I thought the fight scenes were good, apart from the slow-mo one.
Yeah.
But I thought the fight
but
scenes were
that counts,
good.
innit? So like so from a reviewer, like critic point of view, that's what the four things that they all seem to be talking about. But from like an audience review, everyone loved it. Great action scene. It's The Rock. Everyone loves The Rock. So I think the critics were being very, very harsh with this film because it was The Rock. I mean, some people said that he was like very monotone, one note, couldn't really act. It's just The Rock playing The Rock again, which I don't think is fair.
I didn't get that.
I didn't get that
I
at
thought
all.
it was The Rock playing a character that's meant to be monotone. And he's meant to be
I agree.
pissed off all the time. Kind of thing.
Yeah, he's meant to be, bro. This guy,
Yeah.
For one, he was a slave. He finally gets powers to, change his circumstance. He uses those powers and gets in prison for 5,000 years. You're gonna be pissed off. You're gonna be different. You're gonna be out of the box from everyone around in your environment.
And not to
They're going to constantly be on edge.
Yeah,
not to pull like the comic book readers only kind of card, but like if you read Black Adam in the comics, if you seen Black Adam in like the animated stuff or the games and stuff, like he's very like monotone, one note.
Very serious,
It's
yeah.
very serious all the time. It's like, it's like, he doesn't have time for like your bullshit at all. Like he really doesn't. So I think The Rock did a really good job in portraying that.
He really portrayed how well he only cares about Kandak. Anything else,
Yeah, everything else is like, don't
He can be a
care.
hero, but I don't care.
Don't
I just care
care.
about Kandak. That's it. I'm protecting like Kandak. Everything else is irrelevant to me. I really did enjoy that part of his portrayal. I really don't want him to go away. Like going forward, DCU. I don't want him to go away from him being a slave. I want that to stay a very integral part.
It needs to be
I want it to be a
paramount.
thing where he's damaged mentally. I want it to be that serious where it's still a thing where it's still affecting him.
Because at least, I mean, like now, if you think about it, like Kandak is under, like the Kandak citizens are almost like slaves again because, they got Intergang is still rampant. Like he hasn't actually defeated the Intergang. They're still taking over the country, this and that. So he has to sort that out. He has to deal with the Kandak citizens. I've seen him as a hero, as a savior, hero type thing. Is he going to rule Kandak? Is he just going to, jump right bad. Is he going to just be like flirting about Kandak, whatever? Like what role is he going to take in terms of, ruling or protecting Kandak? Because I don't think that Kandak is going to be facing that many threats that he needs to now just be like the occasional superhero is going to adopt a secret identity, go to work in the daily Kandak newspaper or something like that, right? Do you know what I mean? So either he has to adopt this, I am the ruler of Kandak, I'm a king, and, as a king, I need to grow my kingdom, or it's going to be wasted.
Yeah, no.
Which is what I don't want.
Are we get Aquaman this year or next year? Next year, man.
Next year's Aquaman, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So this year.
what's the DCU movies coming up? Aquaman.
Aquaman, The Flash. Oh,
I don't know.
that's it.
That's it. DCU,
No, I
innit?
think there might be. I don't know.
Nothing else to be
I was
confirmed.
still getting Flashpoint though. Is that still happening?
Yeah,
That's the Flash one though.
That's the
Yeah.
Flash movie.
Yeah. So after Flashpoint, that's when things probably.
Yeah. So I think
Aquaman,
Aquaman. I think Aquaman is first, and then Flashpoint happens, and then that's the reboot of
yeah.
everything, and then I'm guessing they'll have like a conference thing when they'll say, "Oh, this film's coming out. This film's coming out. This is what the
Yeah,
route we're
we'll
taking."
start
where-
here. We obviously know there's a Man of Steel.
Yeah,
Two
I mean,
in the works.
But I think that's going to be a good number of years away, though. I don't think it's going to be
It's about
anytime soon.
4 or 5.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think.
I don't know if it's just for me, yeah, but I thought towards the end, maybe either the kid or the mum would be the new Dr. Fate,
I thought it was going to be the kid. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
I thought like the kid would pick up the helmet, put it on, and then become Fate. And then obviously with the helmet's like, well, I'm not coming off and it's up to you.
We're locked in.
We're locked in.
Yeah.
Like,
And also, yeah, I thought that as well. That, okay, we're locked in. The only way you think is that your mum takes over. That
yeah.
That sort of thing, yeah.
Like similar to like the
Young Justice.
Yeah. I thought that's what was gonna happen. So I think now it'll be interesting to see
Who's gonna be
who's gonna be Dr. Fate. Like,
Was anyone annoyed at Dr. Fate like dying?
somewhat, but I feel like before that, I think Dr. Fate had a really good like moment in the film. I really loved.
I like how they displayed his powers.
Yes.
But people had an issue of these like future telling powers. I heard about that.
No, really.
why?
I don't know. But
It felt less like I like this the scene where he was fighting Sabak and the camera kept showing like, off the reflection of the helmet.
Yeah.
I thought that was freaking brilliant. That was a really solid scene. Like his power display was really good. Pierce Brosnan was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, Pierce Brosnan was good. He killed it.
definitely one of the
that's my
highlights of the
that's my
film.
OG James Bond.
Bro,
Yeah,
felt
James
it.
Bond,
It was really good. So I think they need to bring back Dr. Fate very, very soon, very, very quickly. I think like having a character like that in like the DCEU.
We need a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, especially because they don't really.
He's the first magic thing was on DCU seen in big screen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And they haven't really touched on like magic.
yeah.
So they didn't really explain. You could see what he does, but they haven't explained
Playing it,
that he's doing magic. He's like a
Yeah.
sorcerer. He's this. He's that. Could have given us a bit more.
Lord of
Wait,
Chaos,
didn't they
yeah.
say that the helmet was alien?
The what? Sorry.
They said the helmet was alien. Did I miss that?
I think you're right. I think it is.
I think they said the helmet was alien or it was from off planet.
Yeah, they did say that.
Oh, I don't like that. Now that I think about it, I don't like that.
Why does,
I mean,
does that mean it's not? Doesn't mean it's not
It's
magic.
not, it doesn't mean it's not
Yeah,
magic, sure,
magic,
but,
alien magic, yeah,
but it's
but-
like,
yeah.
like it makes it feel like they're not
It's
really
not true magic. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
get you. 100%.
It's not like a
Alien magic. I always see alien magic as science. If that makes sense.
yeah, same.
Yeah.
I don't see it as like it's like magic for me is like primordial forces, like conjuring, like stuff. Not like
So like in the same kind of vein that like Asgardians aren't really gods, they're just aliens.
Yeah,
like,
aliens.
Yeah.
Kind of in the MCU.
Like in a weird way, it almost felt like now that I'm really thinking about it, it's really annoying me. Like okay, now that they've said that it's off world, like it felt like his powers weren't really like I said, not really magic. It was more like I guess science from the helmet. His magic felt like constructs as opposed to like
Just, yeah.
Yeah,
mystic foot, like yeah, okay, fine.
When you put it like that, then it's
kind of
a bit murky. But
I hope they change that.
that's why they need to explain it though, so we actually know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what the deal
give
is.
us an explanation for sure.
Black Adam 2, what do you want to see?
Him versus Superman versus Shazam, if he really wants it.
Do you even make a Black Adam 2? I know you use the character again, but does he maybe fit into someone else's movie? That's what
I think
It's The Rock. He's gonna get a 2.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
he's gonna get a 2, but
get a sequel.
that 2 has to include Shazam. I don't know how he wants to do it. I don't know how he wants to pull it off. I don't know how he wants to moan about it, but he has to include Shazam as a focal point, not as like a side character, not as a
Shazam
Tom
and
mention.
Black Adam. It just doesn't make sense though. It is very hard for them to do because, like you said, the Rock is going to get a 2.
Also, with that as well, remember Shazam and all these siblings, foster kids,
Yeah.
they got powers as
They
well.
got powers too. You can't not have that.
They get
Black
spoken
Adam.
about too. If it's not Shazam anymore, it's all the other all the power of the gods. They didn't get mentioned at all. So yeah, so it's Shazam and plus the gang.
If the gang, sure, fine. And then if he wants to have Superman in the 2, fine. I don't care. But he has to include Shazam. He can't not include the Shazam. If you want to call him the Shazam family, fine. But he has to. And if he doesn't, I think it just then proves that for him, it's just an ego project. He doesn't really care about the DC universe.
It'll be interesting because one of them interviews the other day, he said, like he cares about the characters. That's why he wanted Superman back. And he said that he was listening to the fans. So we'll see.
But he cared about the character, but since day one, what's the first thing he said? First names. Who said since day one? When he got first announced in 2013, Superman.
He has not mentioned Shazam.
I've not seen him mention Shazam at all. I've not seen it.
Once, not even in passing.
I think someone kicked him to the Shazam. He was like, yeah.
Like,
What's that?
Yeah, like just kind of passed it off.
and that's my biggest gripe with him at the moment. And again, don't get me wrong, he played Black Adam really well.
Yeah.
The film is entertaining. It has some replay value to it. But going forwards, if you're gonna stay true to like the DC fans and staying true to who your character is, not every day Superman.
Straight through the source material.
Stay true to source material. Like let's talk about Shazam. Let's talk about Zatanna if you really want to go into it. Like let's talk about these other characters who play pivotal parts in what makes Black Adam. It's not just
or even the Wizards. Why did they choose these champions for these powers?
Right. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about him wanting to.
How do you even feel about him no longer being in prison?
Right. Let's talk about him wanting to take over the Rock of Eternity. Let's talk about him, wanting to make kind of like a great kingdom and like all these other things that are so much more for me interesting than just Black Adam versus Superman.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be so played out. It's gonna be so fucking boring. Superman's gonna fucking win, right? And then it's just gonna be like, okay, I can see you're stronger than me. And then what? Roll the credits, and then I don't know, man. Like nothing's actually happened, so I can't really complain about it. But at the same time, I just see it happening.
Quickly though, some of the humor though. What do you think about it?
But I don't. Nothing.
It was neither here nor there. Well, it was good.
Some of the fun, like also, you trying to do the catchphrase.
The catchphrase was alright.
I find that fun. Also, even a bit with pull me down. You should little tidbits. I like something like that.
Oh, when he just dropped him.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, the sarcasm.
But the sarcasm was
great.
The sarcasm
was great.
Sarcasm
was great.
The sarcasm made me laugh. Yeah, that was actually pretty funny.
Like I said, it was a good film. He did a good job. But
what would you rate out of 10?
7, like 6, 7.
No,
like
a low 6. I can't lie.
Like 6, 7 is where I give it. It's in that range.
Maybe over 50%, maybe.
Like when I watched it the
Like
first time.
5.7 maybe.
5.7. Okay, 5.7. Okay.
5.7, yeah.
That's very particular. I'll give it like a 6, 7.
Yeah, 6, 7 is right. Yes. But
if they didn't have that slow mo scene in it, it would have been a 7. But they did.
It's when I left the cinema the first time, I think the Cavill reveal gassed me too much. And I left the cinema, I was like, oh, it's 9.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. The Rock. But then like when you really step back and like watch it again, it's like, okay, it's like it's not for here nor there. Like, yeah. So
because The Rock was there, did you all have to clap?
What?
In the did he watch it with you?
No, yeah, he was. So he was there. Aldous Hodge was there. And a couple of the cast.
Shout out Aldous
Hodge was great as Hawkman, though. He was great. Don't get me wrong, he was great. So
shout out Aldous Hodge, the guy Hawkman.
Oh yeah,
it was great. It was great. So they were in the cinema with us. So I think they sit them in like a row near the back and whatever. So like, I think for most of it, everyone was kind of quiet. But it was weird. Well, the one thing that really stood out was like when Aldous Hodge came up on screen as Hawkman, everyone went nuts.
Oh.
More so than when like The Rock was everyone in it. So yeah, it was like I think people gravitated more to Arnold Schwarzenegger than The Rock, which is weird.
He's growing like in stature.
Oh, he's from. I remember from when I saw him in what's the first I saw him in? Like
Sherlock Compton.
Supernatural back in like season 1. Supernatural.
Sherlock Compton, Underground. Yeah,
He's like trajectory's been great.
his stock is growing, man. Yeah.
For real, man. Like big Arnold Schwarzenegger for real. But yeah, 6 out of 7, 100%. I think that's where it stands. That's where it's at. Nothing more. Anything else? Anyone wants to touch on? Bring up? Address?
No, I'm good.
We good?
I'm
We
good.
good? We Gucci?
Okay.
Russian?
Yeah, I'm good. Just
Sweet.
waiting for God of War.
God of War,
That's the
Kratos.
one.
Okay.
We expect you to be in the car.
I want you right here. I want you right here.
1,000,000%.
All right, so that's it for today's episode. Thank you to everyone that's tuning in. Many thanks to ELGATO for sponsoring. You guys are legends. If you want to catch us on social media, you know where to go. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram,
Bebo.
TikTok, Bebo, MySpace, Tumblr, everywhere. Just search up the Nerd Council. Look for the Nerd Council on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud. Use the hashtag Nerd Council. We're talking about this episode. Let us know your thoughts on Black Adam. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think was going to happen for Black Adam 2? All that good stuff. Yes, more episodes are coming before the end of the year. If you want to be on the podcast, let us know. Drop us a DM, text, owl. Choose whatever method or message you want. Next episode, are we doing the Cartoon Network list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I want to guess for that one. So, yeah, we're going to do that. But other than that,
Wait, quickly. Roche, what do you think of Powerpuff Girls?
I love it.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. That's valuable information.
I think Joey said it was alright.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So next
We
episode,
just looked at it like-
next episode we're doing like a hierarchy list
We're gonna do
of
a
all the
tier
parts
list.
of
I'll be
Yeah,
Because I used to watch all of them.
yes,
so-
exactly. So
Great.
We'll get like a board.
I am Weasel.
Yeah. Hey.
Gang, yes.
Don't even ask, you know.
Booty.
You need a definitive list.
Yeah.
of,
I've got one.
Say like, oh, you've got one.
I've got one. I'm prepared. Listen, this is going to
We're actually like a whiteboard. We just
Do you want to whiteboard it?
I think we should whiteboard
Should
it.
we get a
And everyone gets
whiteboard?
like 5. We put it. Then we discuss it.
Okay, we're going to whiteboard this
We'll
one.
sort it out.
Okay, we'll figure out.
Because I'm still watching.
We're
I'm still watching.
we're like STA.
We're going to do proper. We're going to do
I still
proper.
watch Cartoon Network now.
Yeah.
Steven Universe?
Yeah, I like Gumball better.
Gumball, yeah.
Gumball's great. Gumball's great.
Yeah.
Love me some Gumball. Can't lie, I do.
Yeah.
All right, people. Over and out. Peace. Are you a content creator looking for some new kit? Well, ELGATO has a quality range of products just for you. That's right, ELGATO isn't just for gaming content. From the chroma key green screen, the key light which provides studio quality lighting, and of course the new Waveron microphone providing outstanding quality audio, ELGATO is there to meet all your content creation needs. Visit elgato.com and check out the full range of products for more information. And a big shout out to ELGATO for supporting us.